Yo, what's up, everybody? Podcast time? Who's calling you?
It's always a 854 number, so I figured it's spam. I'm going to be honest, I think it's always... You donate one time to the Red Cross your blood, and then they want you for life. So I'm going to silence that.
We got Jamie and Maddie here today.
Yeah.
We had a question online that I thought we should just do a podcast on this.
Oh, okay.
Question was, Tony and I did a couple months ago rules for dating our teenage daughter.
Yeah.
The question was, can you give us rules for dating in general? Your kids, obviously Caleb was the first one to start. Caleb is now 21 and engaged.
Yes.
But rules for dating our kids, or maybe let's talk through the process of them dating and even some conversations that we had recently where we've, giggled about some stuff that you and I have kind of been on, not different sides of the fence on, but maybe different perspectives of this from standing on the same side of the fence, but just got different perspectives of things. So, our kids growing up, we always said, you're not going to date till you're 16. And then they started getting 16, and we were like, holy cow, you're way too young to date. Boys and girls. This is for both of them right now, boys and girls. You and I went on our first date when you were 15?
Yes. And you were 17.
And I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God you said yes.
Where it turned out.
Praise the Lord. Times have changed a lot.
Yes, there's social media now.
Yeah, so our kids started getting to 16, and we were like, yikes. I don't know that I feel
like they were ready.
They thought they were ready.
Right. I don't think
people
that were wanting
right.
to date them
were ready.
So
like Carson went to like prom or stuff like that in her junior year. So she had to be, was she 16 then?
She was 17.
Something of that nature. But ultimately, we kind of said, okay, at this age, group dates are a thing.
Right.
If you want to go with a group somewhere and there's a boy that you like in the group, that's fine. Y'all riding in a car together with your brother and sister or other people. You're not riding in a car alone. Things of that nature that we started putting in place at that age. And that is a tough age because...
And you have to give us your plans.
Where are you going? What time are you going to be there? How long are you going to be there?
Right. I know it sounds like we're helicopter parents, but we were only doing it for their own good.
Yep. But we were also very freeing in if they said, hey, we're going to get ice cream with Carson and Haley at, 10:30. Okay, yeah, we trust Carson and Haley completely.
Right.
If you're going to get ice cream with them, yeah, absolutely. Go get ice cream. So there was this balance of as long as I know you're with safe people in a safe place, then your curfew changes a little bit than if you're just at the football game on a Friday night.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
So we started with group dates, and that was interesting. Nothing too terrible.
No.
And
I don't think so.
The rules were, hey, just let us know where you're going.
Right.
We follow you on, we got Life 360 on them. They got Life 360 on us. They use it on us more than we use it on them. They'll be like, where y'all at? Why are you there?
And we still have it.
We still have it right
on
now.
Our 21-year-old
Absolutely.
That's getting married in a couple months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the honesty in conversations is the healthiest part of teenagers dating. I think if you don't have honest conversations about where you're going, I think if you can't have honest conversations, then it's really hard to decide what the rules are. Because if you're going to lie to me about where you're going or about who you're with, then what else are you lying about me to? What can't I trust you on? All of those sorts of things. So I think that trust factor of, okay, if you're honest with me, then I'm going to give you more trust and more freedom because I trust you. So thankfully, our kids were very honest. Hey, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, and we walked along that process with them.
Right. And if plans changed, it was fine. Just let us know.
Just let us know. Yep.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they got 18.
Right.
And at 18, it's hard to tell kids you have to group date at 18.
Yes. Well, for one, I mean, our kids did not leave the nest and go to college.
Correct.
So that was kind of where I feel like we had to change a little bit of the rules.
Correct.
Because if they were off at a college, then
the Lord knows what they would have done.
Right. Which they could have done whatever. Hopefully, I feel like we raised them well enough to decipher what was good and what was bad when it came to any of that. But they were at that age where they could have done that and they chose not to. So I feel like we needed to. I think we both were like, okay, we can
Let's give a little more freedom.
Give them a little more freedom.
So they were able to ride together solo.
Yes.
Still need to know basic plans. Hey, we're going to dinner and a movie. We'll be home around 10 or whatever. Movie starts at this time. We still need to know basic plans. We don't have to know every detail, but we're not going to follow you on Life 360. I mean, we can if we want to, but it's not like it was when you were 16. At 18, we just need to know basic plans and just keep me updated. If something does change, I don't want to pull up Life 360 and see you in North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, let me know what happened. Why are you there? Where are you going? Just give me some updates on basic plans.
Right.
And our kids did, and it was extremely healthy process. And we still had rules of you're not alone in our house. You're not alone in their house. I tell Caleb all the time, Caleb and Reagan, my expectation is whenever you go to Reagan's house, the rules are the same over there as they are at our house, where you're not. Listen, parent. If you remember back when you were a teenager, I'll speak for me. When I was a teenager, I know I wanted to be alone with you so that I could kiss you.
Yes.
So I don't understand why we think things have changed through the years, and now all of a sudden that's not what kids are doing. Like, protect them. They don't know how to control themselves. Protect them. Don't put them in places where bad decisions can be made. And so we just set a standard of you're not alone. You're not being alone. I mean, there's a difference in riding in the car alone and sitting in a house all by yourself or whatever it may be. Like, no, that's not a thing. It's not. I'm doing this for your protection. For purity's sake, I'm doing this to keep you, to make you at least have to fight through hurdles. This is one of the hurdles that we're going to put up in your place.
Right.
And so even still with Caleb, at 21 and engaged, like that's still expectation for his life. And the other day you were like, hey,
he's 21.
He's 21 and engaged.
And getting married. Like
shouldn't they be alone together? And I'm like, absolutely not.
I mean, they don't have to be alone together, but like it was.
And I said, absolutely not.
They could be in the. I thought. I don't want to say what I thought, but I just was like, I mean, I feel like they could be in the house with Cammie and Carson, like as long as somebody else is there, they would totally tell on them. You know what I mean? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, okay.
Because to me, we fought so hard to keep this standard and to make this is what we do, to where once we drop it here, Carson's going to be like, well, or Cammie keeps up with everything. Yeah. She'll be like, at, this many days and this many months, Carson got a phone, so I should get a phone in this many days and this many months as well. So no, they're so close to getting married. Why don't we just keep this standard until they get married? That way we can say this was our standard.
Yeah.
It's a podcast. You have to talk.
I can't disagree with
No.
you. Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with everything that you say. I don't want to not, you know what I
Sure.
mean? I don't want to not agree with everything that you're
We've
saying.
had times where we didn't agree with stuff.
Yeah.
And we've had to go behind closed doors and have conversations.
Right.
And, you know, there's been times where you've won that argument and I've won that argument, and we come out in a united front afterwards. But I think that's healthy as well, to work through how are we going to raise our kids? What is, if I can't even, is this kid wearing this okay? Is Caleb going out with 3 buttons unbuttoned and his Hawaiian look? Like
I
said
think
yes.
yes from
Yes.
the sound room. No.
But like there's right, no. Button that button, boy. No, but like
we are not Hawaii 5
like
owing
like
it
there's
today.
some things that, if let's say your daughter comes out wearing something, you're like, is that okay for her to wear? And us being on different pages, even as they were little, we had a dad text us the other day that was like, hey, my daughter's this age and she wants to wear a 2-piece bikini. What's your thoughts? And I'm like, I just said LOL. He said, don't LOL me right now. Like I need you, man. And so there's been conversations that even inside of bathing suits that you and I have been on completely different sides of the fence as the girls have grown. And thankfully, we have been able to keep this united front in the dating world for our kids.
Yes.
Thankfully, Carson has a boyfriend that his parents are just like us
right?
and
Yeah.
very protective of purity and of his future. And so even though they live hours away, when he comes down here, he doesn't stay with us. He stays in like a little pool house area, and same thing when she goes there, he stays in a camper while, so there's separation, but even the parents understanding that we're protecting your future and trying to put some rules in place.
Yeah, I think socially, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Worldly views are, they're 18, they're adults, they can do whatever they want to do. Right. That's how I was raised. You're 18, go have fun. And did it work out for me in the end? Yes. But I feel like if I had rules in place, I wouldn't have made some of the mistakes that I made that I shouldn't have. So knowing that I want rules to be in place for them, not to, like I said, be those helicopter parents or not let them, sow their roots or whatever it is, but just because, yeah, we do know what's best. We've already been there and done that, and we are just trying to protect you as a human in general. Like, even if it's not dating, like, you're still not mature enough most of the time to be making these kind of decisions. You still need a little bit of guidance.
There's decisions, and this is what we always told our kids. There's decisions you can make right now in this season of your life that can affect your entire life.
Yeah, the rest of your life.
If you drive drunk,
right,
you're affecting the rest of your life.
Yes.
If you sleep with somebody, you're affecting the rest of your life.
Right.
There are things that you do right. Those are 2 big ones, but there are potential, and there are mistakes that you make that are just childish, stupid, dumb. Caleb runs into a car, man, it's
his sister's
car. Carson runs into a light pole, whatever. Cammy rides over a fence post, and
fence post.
Like, those things happen. That's part of growing up. That's a part of, people make mistakes.
Right.
And you fix the car and you move on, and nobody even remembers that in the future. But there are decisions you make right now that if you're not careful, you can affect years to come and potentially your entire life.
And someone else's.
And somebody else's. Yeah.
Yeah.
You drive drunk, you accidentally hit somebody, man, that affects lots of lives.
Right.
And and I'm speaking from a place where my grandfather rode around on a
Moped.
because every time he'd get his driver's license, he'd drive drunk again, and they'd take it away from him again.
Right.
To where at the end of his life, he just had to drive around on a moped because he was that addicted to alcohol. And so I've seen this firsthand, even in my own life, about how those things affect things. So for us, I think our goal was, let's protect them from those huge mistakes. They're going to make
Right.
stupid mistakes. They're going to, they're going to make a joke they shouldn't, and they're going to, like I said, hit a car, and they're going to do some stupid stuff. They're going to try a prank and it go wrong. They're going to do some stupid stuff. Those things, we have to flare our nostrils and say, "Oh, why?" But at the end of the day, it's okay.
Right.
We're getting through those mistakes. But we want guardrails up to protect them from the big, major, life-altering things.
Agree.
And I think that's the healthy conversation is, okay, our girls going and walking on the beach at midnight's probably not a great decision.
No. With us, sure, if we're there.
Sure.
But not with a boy or even
with
just a group of
friends,
girls.
right?
Yeah,
because
no,
somebody
that's so
grabs
dangerous.
them and rapes them, it affects the rest of their life.
Or, like kidnaps them,
like
sex trafficking, all that stuff.
Right. So you put rules in place to protect those big life altering moments. Caleb and I, we were in Tennessee. He flew to Tennessee with me. We were in Tennessee, and we were supposed to fly back home. Flight kept getting canceled till finally, I don't know, like 10 o'clock or whatever, we left and tried to drive home. Well, we got through Atlanta. That was the plan. Let's get through Atlanta. It was after midnight. We were both so tired. We had been going all day. We had left at like 3 o'clock that morning. We'd been going all day. Drove through Atlanta, so we were tired, super exhausted. And so I pulled over and I was like, "Hey, I'm tired. I gotta find a hotel room." Hotel was full. Caleb was like, "I got it, man. I could drive. I'm like, "Sure, let's do it." So he gets in the car and
10 minutes down the road.
It was a little longer than 10 minutes, but not long down the road. He's over there, shaking his head and trying to stay awake. He just chugged an energy drink, trying to stay awake. And in that moment, I'm ready to get home. I love everybody that knows me, that, I travel. Everybody in the Church of God, state, they go, "Oh, Jamie's going home tonight," because I love being in the bed with my wife at night. I love it. And so part of me is just like, let's just push through. Let's just get home so I can be with Maddie. But being a parent that says, "Hey, I'm trying to protect you from big moments. Let's pull over and let's take a nap so that you don't wreck." And not a fender bender. Oops, you bite into your sister. But you're so exhausted right now, we're going to, flip cars and roll off the side of a mountain or whatever. So
right.
Let's pull over and take a nap. This is the guardrails I'm putting in place to make sure that you're protected for your future.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and I think
that's
we do this.
why they're guardrails. That's
Yeah.
why they're some on the side of the mountain, because, hey, if you veer off, you're going to go off the mountain.
Yeah.
It's
I think sometimes, I don't know, early on our kids were young, and I used to say, I don't want to get angry over folly. I want to get angry over sin. And sometimes, if it's our kids have an attitude, it makes me angry, but I also have to remember I'm so thankful. Caleb, all of our kids have used this, but Caleb was the world's worst at using it, where his room would be dirty and Maddie'd go in there and she'd throw a fit.
That's Reagan's problem in a couple months. That's not going to be mine anymore.
But Maddie used to go in there and throw a fit about his room being a mess. And he would say something to the effect of, "Mom, all my friends were out drinking last night, and I was here playing video games. You should be thankful that you should be thankful that that's my problem, that my room looks like this." Yeah,
Carson's shopping addiction.
Yeah,
She's like, I could be addicted to alcohol and doing drugs, but I have a shopping addiction.
Right.
And I'm like, yes.
Yes, you're right.
I am thankful for that. But come on.
And I know we're not going to be able to keep these guardrails up forever because eventually they will be out from under.
They'll be married.
They'll be married on their own.
November. How many months is that?
I mean, potentially. They haven't set a date yet, but potentially
They will have
November.
a date set by next Thursday. They're going to look at venues.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they will have their own rules in place.
6 months.
They will have their own rules in place. Caleb will have his own rules in place in 6 months. And I hope, even inside of the relationships that they build, I hope, Caleb's found his forever. Carson seemingly has found her forever. They're still a little young for me to say that, but I love you, Ricky. But
they're both 19.
But they have found their forever, and so they have found people that have these same guardrails up.
Right.
Now, there have been people that have come into their lives that thought these guardrails were stupid and have eventually found their way out of their lives. Because if you're not willing to be a part of these guardrails, a part of these safeguards that we're putting into place, then our kids aren't right for you.
Right.
Go find somebody else.
Yeah.
And so...
Even friendships.
We had some... they've had some really amazing friends that aren't as active in their life anymore.
Right.
All of them. All three of them have had amazing friends that I could call their names right now that were big, huge parts of their life that aren't as active in their life anymore because Caleb has guardrails up and Carson has guardrails up and Cammie has, safeguards in place, and they just don't want to. They think that that's stupid that they have safeguards.
It's kind of like us as adults dealing like with the public or just dealing with people or even in our own like struggles, like we have our own guardrails up that protect us, or we have our own like safety plan that we know that
Absolutely
we can fall back on, to either keep us safe or, to keep us from doing something stupid. Like everybody needs a set of guardrails, and they need to share those with somebody for accountability and then stay in between them.
And I think the beauty of just some advice out there. We made it clear what our safeguards were. Hey, these are in place for you. This is how we're going to do it. We didn't waver in that.
Right.
We didn't. We live inside of those same safeguards. So it wasn't like I was asking you, hey, don't go party, and I was out partying.
Right.
We live inside of safeguards ourselves. We've made the rules very clear. We didn't change the rules through the process. These are the rules. Live them out. This is not a reactionary rule. This is the rule. So at 16, you're hearing at Caleb's at 16, so Carson's 14, Cammie's 12. They're already hearing the rules laid out before them. They're walking these out. It's not something strange. It's not some reactionary, I'm mad at you because, I caught you doing this, so now here goes the rules now. No. These are the rules.
Right, and I think it helps, too, is being that same person that they see that abides by the rules. Like, don't go out partying, don't go out, those high school days where, they're going to a party, what's happening at the party, or, drinking, or even, before you're 21 or whatever, like, we don't participate in any of those things. And that, I think that helps show them too, hey, like, mom and dad aren't out drinking, or they're not even at home drinking. They're,
Right.
Like, why would we want to go out doing that? Like,
Right.
They didn't see that, and they see that, we're being real and authentic. We're not telling them one thing and us doing something completely
Which I think
opposite.
is
Huge. I think that's huge in all aspects of life. Like,
Agree.
Be the same person everywhere, always.
Agree.
There's no reason to be something someplace and something else another place.
Agree completely. Like, our kids know, like, they know when they do something stupid, they know how mom and dad are going to react.
Yes.
Depending on what stupid thing they do, mom's going to react one way, dad's going to react one way. They know what the reactions are going to be, and it really depends on what they do. If it's they break a glass, I go, no big deal.
Yeah.
Who cares? Clean it up, If it's, something, they get a bad report from school, I giggle, and you're, I can't believe you would do this,
But they don't.
But the flip side is, if they were disrespectful to somebody, I'm going, oh, why would you do that, and you're like, yeah, it's funny, So we both react differently in some of their frustrations, but they know we are the same people all the time.
Right.
Parents, like don't laugh at if one of our friends had a kid who's doing XYZ, and we're laughing at that and thinking, oh, go for it, girl. Oh, go, girl. Go date that boy. Go get you some sugar, whatever. And then we're telling our kids, don't date that boy. Don't go get some sugar. That makes no sense.
Right.
Like we have to, who we are, always be those people. We can't tell this dad to be patient if we're not patient. We can't tell this dad to be loving, to enjoy time with your family, if we're not being loving and enjoying time with our family. And our kids are our friends. We love them. We have grown through the parenting phase. Now we're turning into, this is more than just constant tweaking and turning and shifting. It's more than that. Now we are, they are functioning members of society that have become, the people that we hang out with on Friday night.
Right.
And they love us and we love them.
Absolutely.
So be who you are always in front of your kids. What else? Any other advice?
About
travel with your kids, make memories with your kids.
Agree. Take them to every,
I don't know. I can't think of anything else, but
Disney park ever.
Every Disney park ever.
It's a bucket list. We're going to do it. You see they're building a new one?
I did.
In
Dubai or something like that?
No. Abu Dhabi or something like that. Over there in the Abu Dhabis of the world. Yeah, no, just I think you got to keep an open line of communication too with your children.
Yeah. And every one of our kids have different things that they can talk to us differently about.
Right.
So some of them are like, I want to talk to mom about this. Some of them are, I want to talk to dad about this. And that's okay.
Right.
And there's been times it's hurt my feelings and times it's hurt your feelings, but it's okay.
Yeah, because we're going to tell each other anyway.
That's right. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
You're so amazing.
You're amazing.
No, it's you.
It's you. That was weird.
I love you. Let's go.
Bye.
Peace out.